Hey folks, welcome back to this game of Humankind, where we're finally catching up from having delayed ourselves 30 turns from the Ancient Era, and we have taken the Fame lead, and we're thinking about who we're going to take for the Industrial Era. I was looking around to kind of make a decision, and I noticed some critical information here, which is that this black player playing as the Jusson has a torpedo boat. What does that mean? Well, it means that they have already teched up pretty far up the tech tree, right? So they could potentially start researching contemporary era technologies pretty early if they were to take the French. The French are still available, and I don't want to give them the opportunity to have a good industrial era since they are basically already teched into industrial era tech, right? And I don't want to be facing off against like much stronger units that's come in the contemporary era. I mean, they could have planes, they could have rifles, all sorts of things I just don't want to face off against. So I am going to take the French this game. I know it's a little bit of a boring choice, but I do think it makes a lot of sense given where we're at, and this game is largely more about optimizing my play, trying to recover from the deficit. So we're going to go with this. I do think there were a lot of other options as well that would have probably worked fine, but this one seems the best to me. I'm going to do my classic play of claiming the Statue of Liberty right at the start of the era here. And then we have a whole bunch of things that we can work on. So, first of all, I think, yeah, there's several infrastructure that I'm going to want that I don't have yet. I'm just going to start buying stuff because I have a ton of income now having played the Dutch, right? I'm at 17.5k per turn. Is a really good spot to be in. And now I can get some really nice research quarters because I have plenty of trade routes going on. And by research quarters, of course, I mean these exhibition halls. I'm going to remove those old research quarters out of the queue. Actually, let me redo this because these exhibition halls might be better in the spots where I was building the research quarters previously. Actually, I think, yep, I have another one available right up there. So we're just going to kind of go through the queue here. Let's remove these research quarters as well. Do the same thing in here. Slap down these exhibition halls. And there we go. Good amount of science from those, really. And I should check Mohenjo-Daro as well. Yeah, there's a few of the infrastructure that I'm missing. We'll go ahead and grab the bank and grab the Cabinet of Curiosities, and we'll just add a few of these into the queue. And then same thing down in Urim, good amount of science here. We have a few trade routes going through the city, so that makes some sense. And again, we're just going to need some more infrastructure. And I think probably the rest of these, this is just working on research quarters, so let it finish up the one. I don't think I want to replace that. That doesn't make sense to me. We'll go ahead and just put it like right here, I guess. That provides a little bit of extra influence. See, these ones not quite as efficient, right? Because I don't have the a lot of trade routes going through this particular city, and the exhibition hall scales up off the trade routes, right? It's how much per trade route? 2 science per number of trade routes, right? So works really well. One thing you can do if you're really trying to maximize trade routes is move your capital. This isn't something that I do very often, and maybe this is a game I could show it a little bit. Sure, I'll replace that. But if you look at the trade map, right, because Harappa is has ports, it allows trade routes from other areas to go directly to the capital, right? So all trade routes end at the capital city. If I were to, say, move it to an inland city that doesn't have ports, it allows, say this Mohenjo-Daro did not have this port here, all the stuff would then have to go through Harappa and then go to Mohenjo-Daro. So if you can get like central landlocked cities, it allows you to optimize your trade routes a little bit. It's a little bit harder when you're playing on chaotic continents because of access to ocean in general. As far as tech goes, probably just going to go straight for line formation. I'm just going to go military coordination, line formation, and then we'll work on the rest after that, because we need to still wrap up this war that we have here. I'm thinking I want to take Ninua. It's a less effective city overall than Assur, but the difference is that Ninua has multiple wonders in it that are going to benefit me, including Colosseum, Stables of Pyramses, and Forbidden City. But I'd prefer to take this city because it's going to provide me with some global benefits. So let's take the fight down to this city down here. We'll bring our mortars down so we can make quick work of this. And we'll just bring those guys as reinforcements. And let's just go right in for the assault. Our mortars will hopefully make this pretty easy. And actually, maybe the guys up here could actually shoot something. We'll go ahead and give it a shot. Alright. Don't think they'll be able to hit anything. Yeah, they're too far away. So, first things first, I guess maybe we... Yeah, let's just take that shot so we can just get them right away. And then we're going to start hitting with the mortars. And that'll actually destroy the fortifications that are there, which will let us move our units in a little bit more effectively. We can just kind of stream in through the destroyed fence now. Now, unfortunately, we don't have move and fire, but we have enough of these units that they're likely to just run in and suicide all their guys on our musketeers. So we'll wait for that to happen here. Just like that, basically. Oops. Alright, and we'll just clean the rest of these up really quick. There we go, occupying one more city. That'll tank their war supports a little bit, but we still have a little bit more damage to do. We could just wait for this war support to tick down. They have minus 12 ongoing. I'd prefer it to be a little bit faster, but I can't actually reach any of their things right now. So as I can try to like pick off units like this. Right, and this will get me a little bit of war support and lose them a little bit of war support. Not very much, but it'll do a little bit of damage. Because otherwise I would have to declare war on the black player in order to access some of their stuff. I suppose I could go across the ocean right here, but I'm a little worried about their naval presence because I have deliberately neglected building a navy because I wasn't going to be competitive on the naval front. Partly because one player was the Jussan, and because they were the pirates, right? So I was worried about being able to get an appropriately sized navy to deal with them. Okay, let's just position our units. I think we're just going to let this war support tick down from here. I think we should have enough to do what we want to do. Hopefully there's enough to vassalize and take Ninua at the same time. We'll find out shortly. And then probably need to start queuing up some of these in some of my other cities where I don't already have them. Just go ahead and drop them in the recommended locations. Sometimes you don't want to put them in the recommended locations, but I would say like typically the recommended locations are pretty good most of the time. Yeah, so you don't need to think about it too hard generally. Okay. Scientific correspondence, I will refuse that, of course, as I typically do. And I think we're just going to start positioning our units to attack the black player here. So Kerma is a major city. They have the Great Mosque there, which would be nice to claim. And Napata has a lot of stuff as well. Hotel, Pyramid of Gaza, all sorts of things that I'm going to want. So we'll focus, I guess, on Kerma to start. I think that's probably going to be the easiest. I do need to leave... Oh, there's also this city down here, man. They have a lot of cities to deal with. Okay, maybe I actually leave that one for later. It's a pretty low priority city, really. It's only one territory. I want to have higher amounts of forces concentrated. Okay, let's take a look at our progress there. Alright, so they'll surrender next turn. I'm hoping that I can vassalize and take Ninua. And if not, we will figure something else out. I also have an insane amount of gold right now. Let's just go ahead and start buying some stuff. Oh, meant to buy that. That'll give us some more worker slots. Sure, taxation office, why not? Manufactory, why not? Not that. We're going to need the stoneworks, because the stoneworks is a prerequisite for one of the things in mechanization as well. One of the infrastructure. Grab a few of those. And let's just buy. Put that farmer's quarter down on the bottom. We don't really need that farmer's quarter right now. Okay. And, okay, we're down to 5k, so we'll let it go. We're going to need a little bit to upgrade our army anyway. We have something going on with yellow. No crisis. Probably just changed their opinion of me. Alright, war resolution. We're going to ask for their surrender. we're going to want Ninua. So we want this stuff. And then, can I still vassalize them after? No. But if I gave up a couple of these territories, I probably could. So if I gave up that one, and that one, I guess I'd have to give up all of them except for the center of the city itself. Now that one, the center of the city does have all the wonders, which is really what I care about. And that might be worth it, right? Because when I vassalize, I believe I also take their vassal, so that would be a double vassalization that I would get off this, which would get me a ton of resources. I think that might be worth it. Let's do that. There we go. So I have my very lonely little city here that will get its single exhibition hall. Oh man, this is pretty sad in here. I'm just going to start buying a bunch of this stuff. Really needs industry. It's going to be pretty limited on industry just because I have almost no ability to expand here. Just because it's the one territory. Let's just add some science stuff into the queue. We can get the theater just to help a little smidge with our aesthete era star progress. And then everyone else is basically just going to be waiting around to attack the black player. Okay. This guy can reposition. We'll bring them up over here. That looks good. And everyone else, you can idle. And then this turn we will unlock line formation. So this gives us the cuirassier as well, which I don't believe I have any cavalry units this game. So that's I'll have to hard build one of those if I want any. We'll start with the halberdiers first, just because they are currently less valuable than the musketeers since they're melee units. Just upgrade this whole bunch. I'm hoping I have enough to just upgrade everyone in one go here. I would also like to get artillery, but that might not be feasible right now. Okay, let's see what they... Not very dangerous units there. Okay, so they have line infantry here. So they'll at least be competitive on that front. Yeah, they have a decent number of units. But I'm also going to want probably as an airport. I'm going to grab vassal colonies here. And I don't think I need any of the rest of that. Let's see. Pretty fast tech pace now. Do we... I do want the extra city cap from urban planning. That isn't the path I would prefer to take. I think I want to go steam engine, scientific method, electricity, urban planning. And arms deal, I'm going to refuse that. Okay. My turn to choose a civic for Congress of Humankind. I mean, I'd be fine with either of these. Let's do this. I'll just vote for freedom of speech. I should also check on my independence here. Okay. Could get an agreement with this player. I suppose let's do that. It just extends their life a little bit so that I won't lose them. Actually, I have really high alignment with that player, so I do want to keep, or with this independence, I do want to keep them in. See what they're building here. Okay, not super dangerous. I feel like I can definitely at least rush down one city here. Do I still have movement? Yeah, I have enough movement. I could draw everyone into a fight on Kerma. I'm a little bit worried about just going for it, but I think it makes sense. I have some crises here. I'm going to renounce those. And here, I'm just going to make all those demands, and then declare war. And we're just going to go right in for Kerma here. Just try to take them off guard and deplete their ability to really supply their empire, right? What's the old saying is that amateurs study tactics and professionals study logistics, right? And that is very much true in humankind as well. I mean, you can You'll do a lot better focusing on your empire management than you will on like your tactical outputs of battles, if that makes sense. Like this right here, right? Like if I am just good enough at managing my empire, what I do here does not matter all that much. As long as I like actually have the capacity to continue to reinforce my armies, playing like a tactically perfect game is not that important. Let's just try to knock out these draftees. There we go. And anywhere else where I can get some freebie shots, I'm going to take them. But otherwise, I'm just going to use these guys that are lining the back to provide some adjacency bonuses to my frontline units. I knocked out some draftees. We'll see if they bring in any more armies as reinforcement. I'm not sure they're going to have any close enough. I feel like a few of them are out over in that direction. Something I'll have to be careful about is that I did drag my vassals into this war now that I've vassalized them. We'll see how they do. They actually have some muskets, so maybe they'll be alright. Okay. And we'll just start loading units in. Don't need to do too much here. As long as I can get over to the flag on the next round. We'll also have to deal with this line infantry there. Okay, there's the flag. Going to go ahead and bomb this guy. That'll remove their dug-in as well. And we'll just nail them with some line infantry. And that should be GG on that siege. Okay, and here we'll just take the war support. We don't need the gladiators. Now we can get health regen, which is actually going to be really nice here. I'll go ahead and take that. Do like an extra bit of health regen. Makes your ability to sustain pushes quite high. Now, I could try to maybe bypass Lapida. It's not really that important to their overall empire. I think probably that one's not that important either. Napata is really the key city, it feels like. Yeah, just like rush up in that direction. Like Tlatico though feels such an easy take that I'm hesitant. And I'm also thinking like maybe I combine these two cities, or maybe like these two. What's the? Because I'm quite a bit over my city cap right now, and I'll probably be taking more cities. Just want to see what the surplus looks like here. Yeah, there's a decent surplus there. Could also maybe do like Urim and Unug. 64, 164. Yeah, I mean, these two seem like they'd have a better ability to sustain industry output. Oh, I also have an obsidian manufactory that I haven't built. I suppose, actually, now that I've taken some more stuff, to make sure there aren't any more manufactories that I can get. I'll definitely get that obsidian manufactory, and that'll increase my industry output a little bit across my empire. I think I should just absorb one of these. I'm going to do it. Okay, huge food deficit. Let's just get a few things that'll help out with that. I know these aren't ideal. Can add another one there. And we'll probably want some farmers' quarters. I think I can buy that next turn. The main reason I'm doing this is that I'm taking a pretty big penalty from being over the city cap right now that I don't want to be taking. Because I want to generate those aesthete influence stars. Oh, that is my ally. I don't actually need to attack them. I think I'm going to push those guys towards Napata up there. Down here, let's go ahead and just siege down Tlatico. We'll bring the mortars over just in case, and the rest will head up towards Napata. Okay, and then these guys are going to be my sieger force. Okay, let's see what they have. Okay, nothing that dangerous in terms of reinforcements. And I'm gonna... actually, the high ground here like this is really good for units in this era because it allows them to fire over your front line. So I'm going to line the top here with my line infantry and put the mortars behind them. Okay. That should be good. So you can see here, right, my units can shoot over. Now, some of this is obstructed now because of the woodland, so that is unfortunate. I thought I would have slightly better field of fire than that, but it is what it is. Start hitting those draftees over here. There's one down. Can bring them over. This is like slightly vulnerable, putting them on the rivers like this. But because the units that they actually have in this combat are pretty low value, I'm not going to worry about it too much. Let's see. Okay, there's their Aras coming in. There are quite a few of these prowlers. Do I have anything else going on in my empire that I need to worry about while that's going on? I don't think I do. I could also start on the statue. Not quite sure where I would put it yet. Is there anyone like really struggling with stability? 139 there. Yeah, like I feel like my stability is pretty solid pretty much everywhere. So mostly an aesthetic choice where I put statue, I think. Or I guess wherever I can get like really high value outputs. Okay, I can't hit him. Just do something like that, I guess. And we'll just let the rest of them come to me. I have the flag now, so... Alright, let's take a look at statue while this is going on. $22 food there. I suppose actually I could get some food in this city potentially, which could be helpful. Any good food locations? 18 out here is not too bad. Okay, we'll put it out there. Do the grain silos first. Whoop. And actually, I am going to add statue into the front of the queue in a few locations here, just so we can get that cranked out. Because that statue does do, like, does add quite a bit empire-wide as far as both money and gold are concerned. Probably the marginal value of that might be higher than the individual contributions of other things, so I think it's worth making that investment for a few turns. Why can they not hit that unit? Oh, it's... So sometimes stealth units you can, like, attack for a turn after you've moved away. And then they're stealthed again, even though you can still see them on the map. It's... I don't know if it's a bug. I mean, I guess you could consider it a bug, right? Because you're not supposed to be able to see those stealth units if you're not adjacent. But I'm not sure, like, which direction the bug operates, if that makes sense. Like, is it a bug that I can still see them on the map after shooting them? Is it a bug that, like, they're visible at all after I move away? I'm not sure. Right, let's go for Napata here. All these units. Okay. Oh, I'm not quite close enough, actually. So I'll have to wait one turn for that. Foreign customs. This one's pretty good. Extra influence on territory. I think I can handle the stability hit there. It's really not that bad at this point in the game. Okay, let's send these units up in that direction, and we can battle that city up there. And here we'll go for patriotic, I guess, for the reduced cost of things. Not that we really are building anything. I don't think we'll make use of it. Little coal. Just make sure we get all this coal online. Some coal here. I'm going to buy these out where it's relevant. Okay, still struggling with food. Let's buy a farmer's quarter. Gives us a couple farmer slots as well. There we go. We're growing again. Very nice. Anything else I can do for food in here? Not really. We'll just kind of have to live with it as is. And that's a lot of science there. Let's add that into the queue. Alright. Statue almost done. Probably gonna buy a few of these exhibition halls. Just because some of these cities are producing them pretty slowly. I haven't really taken much in the way of like builder cultures this game. Okay. Napata's next. Then we're probably pushing this way. I guess we need to send at least one army down here. We'll send those line infantry. I think they can handle it themselves. And then we'll keep the bulk of our force together up here. Let's see what their reinforcements look like. Okay. This will be a harder battle. Actually, I should have maybe kept those guys up there until I knew what that looked like. I have another army standing around. Yeah, there's one right there. They'll be able to join next turn. I think I should still be fine. Train's not ideal. I can kind of hide the mortars back here a little bit. Really don't need any units down on this side. Okay. Just because, like, look, these cliffs, I can't get on them, right? So there's really no reason to deploy units over there. Suppose we can probably leave some units up there, just in case that is legit an option. Okay, can anyone hit? Okay. This is a very vulnerable line infantry. I am going to move this guy out, because he can get hit from so many angles. But there are very few units that can actually support him other than my indirect fire units. What I'm going to need to do is probably claim these areas up here and push in from this direction. Yeah, we'll have to get a couple units up onto the river there. We'll see if we can finish off this line infantry using our mortars. There we go. Then we'll take what attacks we can, but I'm going to be very limited. The terrain here is not particularly conducive to using line infantry. Oh, okay. I have some units that were on my backside here. I'm not sure how they got there. I mean, I guess they were probably just an army, and I lost some line infantry there, actually. That was not ideal. I didn't think they would be able to bring that much firepower to bear up there, if I'm being completely honest. Let me move here, I think. We'll start hitting those draftees. I think here will be a little bit safer. Gonna need to bring some line infantry over here to help deal with these units. And I guess we'll move like right here. And we'll move here. Hit these guys. Okay, now I'm gonna have to spend my mortars attacking them because I can't have these guys harassing my mortars in the background. Unfortunately, I need all the shots that are available. Now I think, if I'm not mistaken, right? Yeah, I could hit those tiles from up here. So let's bring those units up. Who do I have higher combat strength against? It'll be this one right here. So we will go ahead and hit them. Is there anywhere else that I can hit them from? I don't think so. So we're just going to have to stay put. Oh. They did a lot of damage there. Yeah, they're doing way more damage than I would have expected. I guess they have units up here. Okay, that kind of explains why I'm taking some damage. I'm gonna, like, hide that unit back there. Pull these units over here, and we'll just go ahead and knock those draftees out. Now we can actually make use of our mortars again. Now I'm, like, kind of scared to move some of these line infantry. I should have hit that guy with a mortar first to remove the dug-in effect. Where can I... Okay, I can hit them from there. Let's do that. This is actually a pretty vulnerable position for them, so if they move units into that location, I'm pretty happy. I don't want to move them there. I took a lot of damage moving there last time, so I think I'm not going to do that again. Just hit that line infantry a bit. And we'll just give some combat adjacency to some of our units. I want them to move more line infantry right there. That is a good spot for me. Okay, yeah, they're kind of pushing on this side, right? You can see they're using this cliffside pretty effectively.
Lightning and a...
Okay. Okay, discovered electricity. Get another wonder if I wanted. I mean, I might as well. I guess let's grab Eiffel Tower. This might be the best for me this game. It's not like an amazing wonder in vanilla. It's actually kind of bad, but... Okay. Not sure I can actually get away from the units that are up there. Just gonna have to try, I guess. Would like to eliminate them. There we go. And let's also remove the dug-in on that infantry here. And we're just going to pile onto that line infantry. And everyone else is just staying put. Because I don't want to... They don't seem to be able to hit any of my units right now from up here. Or at least they're not choosing to. So I want to play pretty defensively. Yeah, there's no getting away from that, unfortunately. 3 line infantry is a lot more than I expected to lose there. Okay. Never disturb the mummy, right, in any storyline. Okay, we'll buy that coal plant for some extra industry. I'm gonna go around buying a few coal plants, I think. There's also... I have an option now down here to get the fertilizer plant, so that'll stabilize my food a little bit. Okay, let's bring these line infantry in here. They bring... Yeah, they brought more reinforcements. Okay. Well, I might have bitten off a little bit more than I could chew on this one. Okay, these guys are actually blocking my reinforcements. We'll just have to keep kind of playing a little offensively like this and wait until I can bring in some proper reinforcements. What I really need now is going to be artillery. This terrain is just not good enough. I think this tile's probably safe at this point. Let's see what they do. Okay, so they can hit here. Yeah, I think I'm just going to have to pull units back, because I can't do anything about this cliff face right now. Unless I would need to kind of attack from this bottom side. Okay. Let's start backing up. Let's do something like this. I think at this point I just... I basically just keep their units locked down. I need to get out of firing distance of that cliff, because I just can't get visibility there. I'm not sure if this guy's going to be in firing range. I think I can keep these guys down here. And then I'll just use these mortars to hit as much as I can. And let's see what they do. And they do so much damage on a single shot. I guess they're not dug in. Where did that shoot from? Did they move a unit there? Okay, pull them back. Oh. What happened there? Don't know why they decided I needed to be informed that players that have been eliminated for ages are, in fact, still eliminated. Alright. Knock those draftees out. I think we just focus fire on these line infantry. If we can remove these bastions, maybe life gets a little bit easier. Okay, everyone's dug in. Can anyone else actually hit anything? I'm just going to play this very defensively. Okay, yeah, there are units right there. And actually, I should be able to bring these guys in. Oh, no, I only have one movement here. Okay. Not sure why they only have one movement. Okay, so they moved some units out that are now vulnerable. So we'll hit those line infantry. Anyone else hit them? There we go. And we'll try to use the mortars as much as we can to knock units out. Nope. Okay, gonna leave a slot here, but I think this keeps our units relatively safe. We have decent line of sight at this point. Okay, so they're gonna start hitting that mortar. I think that's fine if they... because they sense that this is a vulnerable unit now, and they want to go for it. But the reality is this is just kind of pulling them out of position, right? And now I have the opportunity to get some proper return fire in. There we go. How many of these line infantry do they have left? Still have a bunch. I still don't want to like go up onto areas where I feel like they're going to attack me from the cliffside. Guess I will just use the mortars. And we'll shoot there. Okay. Couple more line infantry knocked out. Let's see if they bring any others forward. Yeah, they want to keep going for this mortar, which I am a-okay with. I'm fine if they want to try to kill that mortar. Okay. Let's just send these guys down this way. We can tie up that city down there. They're bringing in some more units. They went as the Siamese. Okay. That might be a little challenging, actually. Let's just hit these line infantry where we can. Forget which units can actually hit them from where. We'll keep murdering that line infantry. I'm going to pull this guy back. Is vulnerable to getting killed now, I think. And then down here, we can remove some more line infantry. Okay. Alright, and children's rights. Researcher slots or worker slots? Probably researcher slots at this point. I feel pretty secure in my continent right now and the amount of military that I have, so I don't feel a lot of pressure to like get even more efficient at producing things, especially with the amount of gold that I have. Could also get the Eiffel Tower. And again, I don't think there's anywhere where I like need the extra stability. Let's remind me what the adjacency is. Right, you get industry per adjacent research quarter. So could like, I don't know, slot it in one of these maybe just for a little extra industry. Like Down here somewhere. Forgetting where I have all my research quarters. They're kind of spread out this game, just because of the cultures that I've taken. I guess we can, like, put it right there. And we'll just go ahead and finish it as soon as we can. Okay, stable on food again there. Might as well just keep using this gold. I am going to want to get to artillery. I also want mechanization. So let's do that. Then we can go propeller, combustion engine, and trench warfare. Alright. Yeah, they're still going after my mortars. Which, I mean, I kind of understand they're coded to do this, but also has made them very, very vulnerable. They were in a good position before, so it's a little nonsensical that they would be so easily drawn out like this. Okay. And I think I can probably start pushing in again. Let's bring our high health units forward. Just gonna push on this little sliver right here. All I need to do is hop on this flag. Yeah, so they still have that one line infantry up there. They're going to dedicate a lot of effort to trying to make sure I don't get this flag. Okay, let's just pull in up there. Shoot. I'm gonna pull in on the flag. What I would really like to do is get vision of this area up here. I don't think that's going to be possible. Should have played this a little differently, maybe. Okay, well, can stop that unit from getting to me at least. Let's provide a little bit of combat adjacency to that unit, because I will take a good bit of damage next turn from this one line infantry, but I will win this siege. Okay. More challenging than I expected, but thankfully I had a good force there. And then down here I feel pretty okay about. I don't think there's going to be like an enormous group of reinforcements for KISS here. But maybe I'm wrong. See, they have 364. You have some reinforcements. Ah, they have conscripts now. That explains a little bit more. I'm just going to besiege it, I think. Okay, yep, and they're going to sally out to me. I'm actually just going to put all my units up on the high ground here. And not worry about the flag at the start. I'm going to put like one unit back in the forest there. You have a reinforcement there? Okay, that's just an envoy. We don't care about that. Okay. Yeah, envoy just died right away. Scientific correspondence, no thank you. Up here, let's recombine some of these armies, I think. I think over here, so we could initiate that siege right away if we wanted to. I think over here, let's combine there. Oh, wrong army, actually. Move the mortars, combine here. And I'm just going to heal all these units. Okay. That looks alright. And we'll go ahead and siege here as well. And they have a bunch of the turtle ships. Shouldn't be an issue. Just because I am going to be staying well away from the coastline here. Let's actually put these units kind of behind terrain so that they're not going to be vulnerable to the conscripts. Unfortunately, with conscripts, it means that they are able to shoot back without me doing damage to them. So they are in a much better position to fend me off than they were on my last siege, but I think it will still be fine. This unit is actually incredibly vulnerable here. Like, look how many angles they can attack him from. So I think I'm going to pull this unit away. And let's just focus on breaking right here. Just because this is the area where I have the most firepower. Attack there. Then let's remove the dug in on that unit. We can attack there. And I'm going to move this unit into the district because they're on a river, right? So that makes them more vulnerable than they would otherwise be. Okay, and we knocked out another unit there. We have enough range to remove the dug in. We can pop another unit into the city. And let's get some firepower on this guy. Then I'm hoping, yep, we have enough to eliminate them. And where else do you have some good firepower? Right here we can take the dug-in out as well. I think, yep, I can hit them from there. Guess I'll do that. And move into the city here. And I have one more mortar, and I can remove the dug-in on the conscripts here and get a nice focused fire attack. Probably, yeah, let's move this guy here. They are on the river, but I have the chance to eliminate them. Doesn't look like I will, but pretty close. I could... Actually, I'm pretty safe on this location now, so let's move this guy up. We can take out those conscripts. Because they can actually shoot me with these units, it's much higher priority now to eliminate them, rather than letting them come to me. We're not at all interested in fighting the turtle ships. Okay. We're just going to work on stuff here. That'll take a while. Ninua's not actually an important city in terms of the outputs. It's just the wonders that it's providing are providing some nice empire-wide benefits. A lot of individual units running around here. Okay. We'll deal with them. Ah, right. We still have this battle going on. Okay. This guy can't actually shoot anyone from here. Just eliminate that one. We'll knock those conscripts out. These guys can hit both of them. We'll hit the one that has lower combat strength. If I need to, which it looks like I might, I can cycle this guy out with this unit right here, since that unit currently can't actually shoot anything. Okay. So we're going to pull them back, move a new unit in, so that they have some health. Okay, and again, let's focus fire the more vulnerable ones. Can they hit anyone else other than that? Yeah. We'll just, yeah, we'll need to knock them out. They're not dug in yet, so that's where we want to focus our fire to the extent that we can. Guys are pretty high combat strength for being militia units. They have a lot of them, too. Alright. And again, focus fire those conscripts. Start hitting that one. And this guy, I think, we're going to need to move away. I'm worried this guy dies. He is dug in. I think he can take a hit from that conscript. Okay. Then over here... Okay, we have one dug in unit. We're going to want to move onto the flag if we can. Okay, so we'll have a conscript to eliminate. I'm hoping this guy can't do any serious damage to me. Okay, let's maybe use them. Let's use them. We can hop into the city here. This guy can go ahead and hop in as well. Let's eliminate these conscripts. Okay, let's get around the side maybe. I'm gonna start hitting these turtle ships. Kind of worried about them. We'll pop a couple shots on the conscripts too, I guess. Okay. So let's move those guys around. Yeah, we have a good opening over here. Okay. Don't really need to do anything with the rest of these units right now. Yeah, they can see a lot of my units over there. Gonna have to pull some of these units back. Alright. Do that. Up on the flag here. See, this flag is actually kind of vulnerable. Let's go ahead and try to knock out at least one of these ships, just so we take a little less damage. Pull this unit out. And no one else should actually be able to... shouldn't be able to see me, really. Right. Alright, so there we go. That's how you deal with naval power, is just ignore them. How am I doing on my Aerostars? Got a ways to go, still. Feel like I'm pretty far behind as far as tech is concerned. Which is proving to be something of a problem. Okay, where can I focus fire the most? Probably this unit. Just to need to remove as much of their ability to do damage as possible. And now they've lost their dug-in status, which is really good for me. Because they decided they wanted to move into that district. So now I can do a whole bunch of damage to them. There we go. Alright, there we go. We managed to take that city there. Take a look at their war support. It's like not moved at all. +1 war support per turn. Sure, I'll take it. It does change my alignments on the Liberty axis here, but it's not that important at this point. Okay, need to keep moving forward here. We basically have to take everything in order to win this war. Like their war support is still so high. Once we take some of these cities over here, though, I mean, I guess that's all they have left. I suppose they still have Lapita here that I've kind of ignored. Maybe I send these units back over that way. Could also claim another wonder. Someone's claimed Kaiserlika already. I don't really care about the rest of these. Okay. I think we can just farm a few retreats here. But otherwise, I am probably going to wait for siege artillery. I only have one more turn for siege artillery. Okay. Yeah, finally starting to affect their war support a little bit. Oh, we have a unit here we could attack as well. And Jadaro. Okay. Oh my god. That's so much money on seafood wholesalers. Holy cow. Go ahead and grab that. Whale fishing, I guess. And then let's just get all our industry stuff. Just gonna buy those. Suppose we can get printing house as well. And then I would like to continue to grow in here, but I'm pretty close to my specialist limit. Industry, I suppose we could get a touch more, and then maybe back to some more research quarters. Alright. Oh, we've... don't know why I decided I wanted to manual battle that. It was not necessary. Okay, so we're in a pretty good way here, I think. As long as they don't come out the gate with some insane new unit that I don't have a way to deal with. I don't have any oil. Need to get my oil online still. Buy a few. With our influence, there's a builder star. Where else do we have oil? We have some coal here that we haven't built. Buy that. We have a new civic working conditions. Stability. I'm going to go for the money per population. I can deal with negative stability quite easily. Wow, ton of money on seafood wholesalers as well. Still need production stuff in here. I'm basically just going to be buying those. Okay. An agreement, an arms deal, definitely refuse that. And I'm still looking around. Okay, I have oil up here. Grab that. Yep, thought there might be oil up here. Oil tends to spawn a lot in the poles. So that's usually where I'm looking, is the north and south side of the map to identify it. I really wish that Humankind had a search function, kind of like Civ 6. I did find that really helpful in Civilization 6. Back when I played, I kind of fell off it quite a while ago. I need to, like, I still need to finish my Civ 5, or Civ 7, rather, D&D series. I've kind of stalled out on that a little bit, just because I've been focusing a lot on my Humankind content. I'm gonna wait to assault the city, just because I still need to upgrade these mortars. I would like to have them all upgraded before I go for the attack. Okay. Now, there is a question of, like, do I just decide to vassalize them, or do I take stuff? Because if I could go for, like, a vassalization victory, basically. I would need to go after yellow as well, which feels bad, because they've been my friends the entire game. But we're not here to make friends, we're here to win the game. Okay. Let's grab microbiology for the reduced population consumption, and then maybe we can come back for encyclopedia. And then probably grab aeronautics just to set up for the next era. Alright. We have our artillery. And let's push. Uh-oh. That's not what I wanted. I am not going to get involved in that. I want my ally to lose. Come down here to the pizza. Ninua, you're still working on stuff. They'll just idle until my other units are available. And Harappa, let's just buy a few things. A coal plant you can hard build. Food wholesalers, ton of money there. Let's actually build that first. Unfortunately, my cuirassiers are... My cities I could actually build cuirassiers are too far away to really make a difference here. Alright, now we can go for an attack. Alright, they have a good amount of firepower here, but I have way more. Let's put our artillery kind of back here. They have pretty solid range, because I want to use this area up here, potentially. They might be able to hit a few units from that position. Something like that, maybe. I want to give these artillery, like, high-ish ground, because they do benefit from high ground. Okay. They have a lot of dug in, but thankfully I have a lot of ways to remove dug in. Can they hit anyone? No, they actually can't. Oh, those units are blocking. Interesting. Okay. Maybe I just focus fire on these ones here. Let's do something like that, and we can hop in. Let's grab that high ground here. The same thing right there. We'll move here for a little bit of combat adjacency. Okay, they've already lost their dug-ins, so I'm going to go ahead and shoot them with units that I can. Guess we can do that as well. Then one artillery left. I can shoot the conscripts out here. A decent number of units. Let's go ahead and remove the dug-in there. Okay, nice. And I can actually hit the conscripts there as well. And then the rest of these, probably just staying put. I think I can move one guy forward there. I don't want to, like, go right here, because that could get shot by a multitude of different units. Actually having to think about, like, how I'm moving my units around this game, which feels kind of weird. I know it's kind of sad to say. That is usually what the game is like in the industrial and contemporary era, just because the AI struggle to keep up. Okay, so they're bringing in reinforcements now. And, okay, so I've lost a unit there. No big deal. I'm worried about this now, because they do have that, the conscripts. Maybe I just bring them back up here and don't worry about that city. Let's remove some dug in. They need to deal with these units up here. And they're also dug in, actually, which is a little weird because they just moved last turn. These units are not, thankfully. I need higher health units in this location, I think, so let's do something like this. And we can knock that guy out with line infantry. We want to preserve our artillery for more important targets, if we can. These conscripts are not dug in. But dug in right there, we can definitely eliminate them this turn. Who do I want to use to hit them? This guy can only hit there, so we'll use him. And then, what else do I have a good chance with? Yeah, this guy's not dug in, so we'll just focus some fire over there with units that can. I'm a little hesitant to move units here now, because this guy really got blasted last turn, and I just lost them right out. And I don't really have the capacity to reinforce right now. I suppose I could maybe buy units in the one city that I have. Let's just remove dug in on that guy, I guess. There we go. Here, they can't actually shoot anyone from there. Which I think is fine. I don't want to lose more units than I have to. Let me take a look at... Where are you? Nineveh. What is my buyout costs here? I could get some Crossiers, actually. I think a couple of those might be handy, and they're fast units, so I can get them over to the front line quickly. I think I'm going to do that. I lost another line infantry. And they only have one dug-in unit, so let's go ahead and remove the dug-in. I guess I lost the unit that was hanging out over here. Let's go here, maybe. It's still not quite enough. I was hoping to preserve this unit to fire in the other direction. Okay. Artillery, let's do some work. I don't want to lose another line infantry if I don't have to. Yeah, no one else is dug in. Okay. Let's do that. Get in the city there. These units are going to hit what they can. I think I move these guys here. And I can fire across the way there. Let's pull those units back so I don't lose them. And then, oh, those conscripts are super vulnerable there. Let's hit them. And we can knock out another set of conscripts. Okay, almost done with this. We are going to need to wait another turn, unfortunately. But we should be able to wrap this up right at the start of the round here. There we go. Okay. There's another city taken. Yeah, we just have Macumba and Lapita left. Yeah, I guess we do keep those units moving in that direction, and then we can actually bring these Crossiers down for an assist. The religion we don't care about. Scientific correspondence we do not care about. Okay. How is their force support looking? Oh man, how did they recover so much? Recent victory in battle. Not sure what that might have been, but whatever. You can't just, like, ask someone to become a vassal, right? That would be kind of fun, like in Total War or whatever. One stability per researcher. What's my other option? No, I'm gonna refuse that. I don't want to lose the percentage science. Ah, right, I'm the French, so I can go up to the next era text. I, like, completely forgot. Amphibious warfare would actually be nice for rifles. Aerial warfare would be nice as well for some aerial fire support. Let's go for that one. Okay, let's go. Let's take the buyout off. Seafood wholesalers, we need. Get all those. And I do feel like I'm a little bit low on industry still. Just get a couple more Maker's Quarters. And Harappa. Don't think we really need to, like, keep going on Maker's Quarters. You have a good academy here, so I'm going to go ahead and get that. Okay, and we can push forward to Macumba. We've lost quite a bit of our force due to just attrition in battle, basically. But thankfully we did bring enough over to deal with all their army. Okay, let's back the artillery up just like this. There's really no reason for it to be deployed that close to the front line unless you feel like you're gonna be able to, like, push them back really early and you need the, like, extra range towards the back of the battlefield for some reason. It's really the only reason to deploy them that close to the front. But battles like this, I mean, pretty much everyone's going to be in range of artillery, so... Okay, let's start hitting these conscripts. I would actually like to get into the city up here, so we're going to use a little bit of siege artillery, and then we can fire down from the walls on those conscripts. And over here, we can remove one more dug-in status. We'll go for this one just because the wall health is pretty bad, and we could potentially remove it later. And then I'm getting a little bit lazy about this, but let's start knocking on their door here with as many units as we can. Yeah, the dug-in does make a huge difference. Go there, maybe. Might retreat off of that river there. Let's go maybe there. Yeah, let's see if we can just knock these units off this fort here. There we go. And that kind of secures my flank there. That makes me feel a little bit more comfortable. Alright. Should be able to clean this conscript up pretty easily here. Let's move over here. We'll probably take a shot right there, remove that dug-in, get a nice shot there. Okay, got a little lucky. And also probably remove the walls here. And that'll make it a lot easier to start actually getting into the city here and removing some of their cover effects. So let's just knock off a bunch of dug-ins. Dug-ins, not dung-ins. And probably start moving up to the high ground here since I can get there, thanks to my extra movements. Okay, and envoy should just die immediately. There we go. Fairly easy siege compared to the other ones I've done up to this point. Okay, that just leaves the pizza, which I'm a little nervous about sieging, if I'm being honest. I suppose I actually have really good terrain right here to some extent, but they have good terrain up there as well. Where did my crossieres go? There they are. Are they going to be in range if I make this attack? Not quite. I'm going to wait a turn, I think. There's aerial warfare. I could maybe do something like this. And then... Oh, I don't have any aluminum yet. Where can I get aluminum? I don't know why I'm looking over there. I'm just occupying all those territories. I have some up here. It's not very much. Okay, there's some here. I have very little, I feel like, considering how much territory I control. Okay. Well, I think it should be enough, though. And then buy some bombers. And hopefully they have enough range. I think they will. Just gonna siege here. Yeah, because everything they have is just a ship that's a reinforcement. So we're just going to siege it down, because our bombers need a turn before they become active. And then these units I'm going to position against the pink player up here. And then maybe we just grab like amphibious warfare and continuous track. Because I think military is probably my victory condition at this point. Let's just finish up that exhibition hall. And I think I'm just going to grab a fairly simple army down here, because we can just siege Memphis really, really easily and knock them out in one fell swoop. Suppose maybe I can get like an ironclad in Urim to provide fire support. In Mohenjo-Daro. Let's get some basics. Suppose we can grab an airport just in case we need to reinforce somewhere in the world. But that is looking pretty unlikely at this point. Okay, what is my range on this? Okay, yep, they have great range. So we're going to go ahead and make our assault here. Okay, the Cuirassiers don't need to be down there. Let's move them something... Yeah, that should be fine. I'm hoping I can use the bombers to destroy some walls here. I do a lot of damage to my line infantry there. I suppose I could move them out of the way. Also, like, completely destroy their commons quarter by doing that, which would be fine. Let's move that Cuirassier back. I want to move this guy out of the way. I don't want to blow up my own unit. And then I can go ahead and nuke that area. That will also let my Cuirassier get in to do some damage. We can just destroy those conscripts there. Okay, we have a few good high ground positions here. And there are very few positions that their turtle ships can actually operate from. That will do anything significant to me, at least. Those units moved already. Go ahead and start taking our shots here. Same thing either way there. Alright, and then I forgot I have a unit up here. Actually, I don't know if I forgot so much as I didn't realize I had a unit up there. And then I'm going to kind of rely on the Cuirassiers quite a bit here to deal a lot of the damage down in this area once I get them rolling a bit. Okay, refuse that. We'll wait a turn there, but we're going to go for that pretty rapidly. Okay, let's just buy these, because we're so close to being able to win this game. Make sure I'm still good on fame. I am. And I might just... I think I'm gonna get a... what's it called? An aerodrome. Just because, frankly, it's kind of fun using bombers and things in Humankind. Just get a siege artillery. Didn't quite have enough for the bomber there. I might add one to the queue. 5 turns to build. We'll buy it out when it comes to that. Don't need to upgrade those units. Not against the pink player here. That would be overkill, I think. Let's go back to this battle. And they're actually funneling units up here as well, so that's going to make things pretty easy for me. Go ahead and blast them from here. Don't like when it bugs out and shows the deployment zone like this, but what are you gonna do? Alright, I can knock them out. These Cuirassiers, I guess we'll just like position them right there or something. We'll just run the Cuirassiers onto the flag this round, and that should basically do it. Maybe we can get a cheeky little attack here, destroy a cog or something. There we go. They did an okay amount of damage there, considering that's an industrial era unit. And there we go. Okay. End that turn. I think that's their... Oh, they have a city down here too, actually. Okay, so I'm gonna have to position against that city. Start running everyone over. These units... Okay, well, I had one fun battle with my Cuirassiers, but now it's time to upgrade into tanks. And here, We're going to ask for their surrender. And that's... Okay, I take that one, which is actually probably the best one. I'm just going to vassalize them. Oh, I didn't... Did I untick it on accident? Whoops. I was going to buy some units there to attack the city, but that's okay. Alright, let's just demand those. We're going to declare war on the Ottomans. And, I mean, well, we might as well upgrade some of these units just in case. Let's just roll these units on in. And I think these ones are going to make their way down there, just in case they can get there faster. Whereas this one will continue to support up here against Cahokia. Go ahead and attack here. I think we can just auto-resolve this one, right? Like, there's no way my units die here. Yeah, there we go. The difference in combat strength is just so high. Okay. And these guys getting into position. I'm very sorry about what's coming your way, Yellow, but this was inevitable. Okay. Unug, we can just work on a few things while we try to wrap up the game. Anything else that we really need? Probably not. So let's just start going for Research Institute for a little bit more fame, just in case like Black manages to start catching up somehow, and then maybe we go for Rocket Science. Okay, here, just going to declare war on the Khmer. Let's roll down in here. And maybe we can buy out another bomber just in case we need it. Very limited vision right now. Okay. Use that. I will idle these armies, at least one of them. Bring these other ones back down, I suppose. And all these ones are going to make their way across this continent to go after this last city here. I thought I changed the spawn here. Okay, extra war support sounds good. Okay, away we go. Away we go. We have landing craft now, which makes it a little bit faster to get over there. From events. Don't think any of this really matters. We'll go for that one. I don't need to declare war. They're my vassal. I should be able to move through their territory. Okay, Ironclad's coming down. Attack Memphis. Funny they think that I'm weaker. But we'll just do this just in case. We're going to make use of my bomber here. I suppose I can do this from the support tab. Just going to do one at a time because, yeah, I'm pretty sure I will just immediately destroy all their units like that. You can run over here, and then yes, we can hit that one, and then this unit. Okay, my rifles will be just fine there, so I'm going to go ahead and knock those units out. And bombers are enjoyable. We'll just end the round, because we can't see where this last unit is. Yeah, these cogs are not going to do anything. Suppose we'll add fertilizer plants, and then we can just queue up some more research quarters here. There we go. Down here, we'll pop on the flag. Turns out I did not need that ironclad, which is what I expected, but just in case, you know. And there we go. Okay, and we're almost ready to siege there. Thankfully, those tanks are very fast, so they got here very quickly. Oh no! Please don't do that. Okay, ask for their surrender here. They're going to become a vassal. Thank you. Need my allies to resolve this battle, please. I need to siege this city. What is going on here? Let's just end their turn. These guys... Alright. Battle's done. Let's move these units in. There we go. Alright, now we can siege. And I'm going to assault just because I like using tanks. And I kind of expect the AI to, like, totally screw this up if I let them, so let's just run in here. I mean, it would be pretty hard to screw up against draftees with contemporary era armor. Got some rapid fire cannons going there. Alright, pull in here, should be able to... Oh, I need to wait around. Okay, there we go. And there's that city, and then next turn, we'll get them to surrender, and we'll have vassalized our last player. So we just need to add some things into the queue here to get us through the next couple turns, and that'll be the game. Kind of interesting that, let's see, ask for the surrender, I'm a vassal. There we go. I gave myself that 30-turn handicap, and there was even one player who was ahead on science for quite a bit of the game. But by the time I, came in to attack them, like they just weren't in a good position to defend me. They kind of had their units all over. But I managed to, like, rocket ahead of them as far as technology is concerned. There, your journey. So I don't know, did I need, like, a bigger delay? There's kind of a balancing act, right? Because you make it impossible at the start of the game if you wait too long. Whereas, like, they seem to need a larger handicap later in the game in order to be a realistic competitor. Or they need me to have a larger handicap. So, I don't know. Obviously, picking the French had a little bit to do with it as well. Yeah, I mean, not my highest fame game, but I think it was pretty obvious where this game is going at this point. No need to play through the contemporary era when I've already picked the French. We'll go ahead and skip this. Curious to see what their science looks like. Oh, not influence science. Yeah, see, like, why... They don't scale up at all here. And I'm not entirely certain why that is, especially since they had been playing scientist cultures basically the entire game. I mean, part of it is that the AI suck at prioritizing manufactories, which definitely has a lot to do with my increase in science, right? But you always get into the early modern, in particular, is where you seem to rocket up on most of your outputs. And that's going to be because of manufactories, right? And the AI just don't have that same level of increasing outputs that the player does. Yeah, I mean, I built quite a few more districts than they did. They actually had a lot of units defeated, a lot of won battles. They did it all right for themselves, all things considered. Wasn't necessarily the player I expected to do well, but they did okay. I think I'm going to be trying another sort of handicap game next time around. I have an idea in mind that I want to see play out that could be a little challenging. So we'll see how it goes. But in the meantime, thanks for tuning in for this one. Hope you enjoyed my 30-turn handicap run, and I'll see you again soon. Cheers.